Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. I am here with another junk journal flip through, this time of my recently completed Botanical Boho junk journal. So this journal is, it's 9 by about 6.5, so it's sort of about your average A5 sort of size, maybe a little bit bigger. We are chunky. We are gorgeous, we are full of colour, so if you'd like to see inside, come along and have a watch of this video. So obviously this is a boho theme, so there's a lot of colour, there's a lot of bling. I'm actually nicknaming this the Celebration of Colour Journal because there's a lot going on. There's, as you can see from the side, lots of colour. Even on the back, we still have colour. So let me take you through. So there's a bunch of boho and sari inspired trims on the front. It's a fabric cover, but the inside, the fabric is over some, it was a thick envelope that I've also reinforced with some cardstock. So although it is a fabric cover, there is a bit of rigidity, structure, a little bit of that there, mainly because I knew how big and chunky it was going to be. So obviously I wanted to make sure that it was stable and sturdy enough to handle all of that. So yeah, this is the front with all this gorgeous sari trims and different materials. A tassel that came from some jewellery. The signature is stitched into the cover, but the actual binding is hidden by this beautiful crochet and pearl trim that you can see here. And on the back we've got more sari trims in different colours, sewn on in a patchwork style. The closure is 2 eyelets on either side, and then they're just tied together with a bow. This is some trim, I believe, from some sari. It's quite a sheer fabric, but it's absolutely beautiful, this turquoise and blues and greens. So here we are inside. This is the front page, of course. So what you can see here is we've got some vintage upholstery fabric in gold, vintage trim with this lovely sort of floral pattern, and in the belly band that I've turned into inside the belly band, I've created this little booklet made from tea-dyed papers, and this was actually a vintage greeting card, and as you can see I was inspired by the pinks and blues, which you'll see throughout the journal. There's a little bit of that going on. Here's some wallpaper, and what I've tried to achieve with this journal, I have tried to achieve lots of different writing space, but there's also lots of hidden surprises and lots of tuck spots, pockets, all different kind of flip outs, different things, which I hope you'll have a lot of fun exploring. Here's some vellum, and I just love how it looks across this old book page, which had some beautiful colours for the boho theme. This is just clipped in here with this beautiful clip that I've just adorned with a bow. As you can see, this is very much inspired by orange. This flips out to give you some journaling space and some stenciling that I've done there. And inside is this little booklet that I've made. This has a hidden journaling spot on the front. And then this is just some like vintage pages and vintage paper and book pages that I've created into this little booklet. And this is obviously the end paper from a book, a vintage book, which I just thought was really pretty with all of the orange. So I definitely wanted to use that. On this side we have a little fabric flip. And just clipped in there we've got this this German vintage banknote. It's Deutschmark, it's not in tender anymore, so it's quite old, but I just really liked the colours for this particular page and journal. And of course on the back, you know, you can write stuff there. That's just clipped in anyway. On the back there I've got a couple of things clipped in here. This is a vellum pocket that I've made. This was inspired by Natasha from Treasure Books, where the book page, I've decoupaged it with Napkin, and then I've sewn some vellum onto it to make this pocket, which I just put this little tag in. This is again inspired by Natasha from Treasure Books. This is vintage paper that I've decoupaged Napkin onto and added a little tab at the top. So that just sits in the back there. I have just clipped this in, so you could glue it down, you could move it around, you can do what you like with it. It doesn't have to stay there. And this is just some scrapbook paper that's slightly embossed for you to have a bit of fun with inside the journal if you would like. This page is very much inspired by orange, greens and browns, as you can probably tell. So inside this fabric pocket, I've made this little tag. So this is some boho type fabric, a little tab at the top here, and a sticker that I've sewn on. And if you can hear this, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's basically a bubble mailer that I've turned into a tag and sewn some tea-dyed paper on the back of for you to have a bit of fun writing with that. But it's squidgy, it's a lot of fun, and I hope you have fun with that one. And here we've just got this postcard that you could use for more journaling, which I felt went really well with all the different colours. Here is, so this was some vintage ephemera. This is, it was a very short letter, so I didn't feel like it belonged in a pocket or something. I actually wanted to use it in the journal, partly because it's also got this, this sort of slight vellum feel to it, so you can see through the page onto the other side. There was a hole here, so I've just reinforced that and added this little sun charm, which I thought was really pretty. This is some music paper that I've decoupaged Napkin onto and added a tab. Here we've got a, this is a brown paper bag which I've turned into a pocket. So this just clips off here. And inside the pocket we've got various fabric scraps and different trims, some of which I've used through the journal, some of which I haven't used yet. So I just thought that could be a bit of fun to include those, and then you can have more fun embellishing the journal, making some clusters or paper clips, different things like that. So as I say, that is just clipped shut like so. And this is an altered paper clip which acts as a tuck spot if you'd like, and then obviously I've left the back of this brown paper bag plain for your amusement. You can do more with that. Clipped in here we've got another one of my bubble mailer tags. Same fabric, different feature on the front with a tab. And this tab has a green charm here, just some beads clipped on. This is another altered paper clip, and this is a journaling tag, journaling card that I've made that you could have fun writing on. There's some book page, botanical book page. I just loved all the colours for all this red and orange that you can see right now. On the other side we've got, this is a couple of bits of scrapbook paper that you could do further things with. Again, it's a slightly embossed feel. And this was a vintage soap box that I've just turned into a pocket, so you could pop some extra bits in there. I just thought it was really decorative, so I wanted to be able to include that for you. On this side we have a kind of like quad pocket belly band thing, so I'll take you through it. So it is a belly band. As you can see, it goes all the way through there, and in the belly band part I've just included some vintage ephemera. I had a whole pack of this type of ephemera which came from a solicitor's office, and it's all about this person's estate. So this one is from 1927, and the various letters were about his estate throughout his lifetime actually. So it was quite interesting to go through all of that, so you'll see a few of the pieces throughout the journal. This opens up here, and we've got two little pockets in the front just here, which I've popped in some vintage tea cards in botanical illustrations on. I really liked all the purples and blues and pinks. The paper bag has two pockets. There's a big one at the back here and a smaller one at the front. So in the larger pocket, I've just popped this this vintage. It was a music cover for some old music sheets. So you could journal on the back of this, or you could use it for something else. It might even be antique because it's not dated. Actually, yes, it is antique. I've just seen the date, 1882. There you are. So that's actually technically antique now, and it's genuine. It's not a printable. So that just sits in the back there. In the front there, I've just pulled out this, it's a journaling card that I've made from a book page, and I just thought with the pattern on and everything it looked very boho. And I've made this sort of like little flip up thing, So there, as you can see, I think it's a poem or something. It's some kind of scripture that you can read. So this flips down, so you could have some secret journaling space here if you wanted to. And you can also write on the back of this actual, you know, flippy card part. So that just sits in the front pocket there. So the brown paper bag actually had a bit of a tear in it. So I've highlighted that with this, I've put some fabric in the window, but it's completely sealed in there. These pockets in the back are, you know, separate from this. I just wanted, you know, as a junk journaler, I don't like to throw anything away. So when the bag ripped, I was like, no way am I getting rid of that. So I actually made the hole bigger and put some fabric in, and I just thought that looked kind of fun. On the back here, we've got another one of my vellum pockets. This time this one is glued down. In the back there, I've got this illustration that came from the same book that you saw the journaling card just now. And again, you could do further things with that. You could write on it if you wanted to. All of my vellum pockets, they are double pockets. So as you can see, there is space for you to put something inside the front as well. I've just, you know, I haven't put anything in there because I didn't want to hide this decoupage decoration that you can see. Inside here, I haven't created a belly band, but I have created a small space here for it, like almost like a secret tuck spot. So it's about this sort of size. I think this is about as much as you'd get in there, just like a little tiny piece of note paper. So I've just popped that in with some eyelash trim for you to use, but you could, you know, replace that with something else if you want. There's enough space there for something small. And as you can't, I don't know if you can tell, this is obviously inspired very much by pinks and blues. So on this side we've got a boho trim as a pocket, pink tab, blue charm that came from a necklace, and this beautiful vintage greeting card in the pocket, which opens all the way up for lots and lots of journaling space. Or you can just, you know, appreciate it for what it is, because it's really pretty with all these pinks. On the back here we've got a playing card that I've decoupaged and turned into a tuck spot, and I've just popped in these extra playing cards. It's from a vintage game from the 1990s. It's from Spain. I don't know the rules of the game, I just have lots of these cards, so I thought with the coins it went really well with the boho type of idea. If you're wondering why this playing card tuck spot has a corner missing, then it's because this card actually came from a casino. So when they're finished with playing cards in casinos, they snip off the corners and they'll sell the cards as souvenirs. So if you're wondering why that's that, but if you don't like having that sort of detail, you could just cover that up with a cluster or something like that if you wanted to. This is, so I do this marbling effect with nail varnish. I know, crazy. So this was 2 different colours of nail varnish, and I just love the effect that it gives. I think you would struggle to write on the actual nail varnish part. I'd be worried that you might, you know, take off some of the nail varnish on the paper. But you can write in these little white spaces here. You could further decorate this up, you could add something to it. I just really liked the effect, and you know, I wanted to include that. And of course you can write on the back, no problem, because this is just it's just art paper. And this is the middle of the signature. I know, I've gone a bit bonkers with this one. I'm hoping you can tell from all the fun, all the colour, all the bling, just I've thrown everything at this journal, and I hope you can sort of tell that. I had a lot of fun, and I want whoever owns this journal to have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, this is the middle. It is it's a butterfly. It's a very blingy butterfly. I don't know if you can see that, but there's lots of glitter, lots of shiny. And this was it's made from feathers, and I have a feeling I had this in my room as a very small child. As some kind of decoration. So I've turned the top wings into just very small tuck spots. Obviously I didn't want to put too much pressure on the wings, so the tuck spots are small, and I've just popped in these butterfly tea cards, vintage ones. But I thought the idea was so unique, and I just felt like I had to do it with this one. So I hope you'll forgive me. But yeah, I just love this. I love this so much, so I hope you do as well. So the back of that is a paper doily, and I've just popped this blue ribbon down each side just to give it almost like a framing the butterfly, I guess. This is some more of the marbling paper. Here is this boho trim with these lovely tassels that hang down the page. And on the back of that, I've created this ruffle from the same fabric as the closure. All this beautiful blue, green, turquoise, very sheer fabric, which just, it works perfectly for ruffling as well. This is wrapping paper. I just thought the green and the gold went really well with this, this sort of theme. And hanging over the page, I've created this tuck spot. So there's a tuck spot on both sides, and a tuck spot here as well. Clipped under here, I've got some vintage ephemera, this time from 1964. I just thought this went really well with all the colours. There's yellow, there's red, there's blue on here. I just thought that was a lot of fun, and it's blank on the other side, so you could journal with it, or you could use, do whatever you like with this one. Here's another one of my decoupage napkin tags, this time on tea-dyed paper. And as I say, this this sort of envelope that I've made, it just clips over the page, and I've decorated it up, so you could write on here if you want to. So as you can see, it's just a botanical book page. And inside, I've made another one of my bubble mailer tags, this time with a different fabric, and on, I have a feeling that's some kind of parchment card, I think. And then there's some more tea-dyed note paper in there as well, but you could put other things in the envelope. And as it's just clipped in, you don't have to keep it there if you don't want to, because as I say, it just hooks over the page like that, and it's just clipped in, so you've got a tuck spot here and a tuck spot there. Underneath that, this is colouring page, if you're wondering about all the crazy flowers, that's what that is. I just thought it was really fun. You could put small little notes in here if you want to, or you could colour in. You could have a bit of fun going crazy with that if you'd like. Here's the back of the botanical book page. On this side, I've got another fabric flip, this time with this beautiful red boho trim, and I've just clipped in this journaling card that I've made. Just clipped in underneath there. On the other side of the clip, I've tucked in a few different things. Here is some vintage ephemera from a printable that I've printed out for you. Here is some note paper with pink owls and blue bumblebees. And this is some antique ephemera this time. So this is from the same estate pack that I mentioned with the from the solicitor's office, and this time it's from 1905, I believe that is. So it's very old, and you could have a bit of fun with this. Again, I think this is possibly them working out some costs related to their estate. So I hope you enjoy having a look at that. So as I say, I've just got these bits. I've just got them clipped in, so you could move them around or do something else there. And underneath here I've got this cluster, which I just thought went really well with the purples and blues. This cluster I actually made from a Happy Mail swap. So we did a recent challenge on Facebook, which was to create some various things from somebody sending me some scraps. So I made this, and I just felt like the colours went really well. So I'll definitely do a video to show what I made with my scrap pack, because there were some really pretty things that I got sent. This is the other side of the brown paper bag. So in the front, I've decorated the front with this, but you could cover this up with something, you could add more to it. And I've just got these clipped in. So the first thing is this vintage greeting card. It's a vintage postcard, not a greeting card. Here's a vintage postcard, and I just felt I really liked the handwriting mirrored on each side of the page, and this went really well with all the blues. A couple of little stamps. These are vintage as well, purple and blue to go with the rest. You can tell I had a lot of fun with colour matching. So these are just clipped in, but actually I won't clip that in just yet because I want to show you inside the brown paper bag. We have yet more beautiful trims and fabrics and different things that you could use to further embellish the journal if you'd like to. So as I say, those just clip on the side there. Where's my paper clip? Here it is. So it's just clipped shut, and obviously you could move things around. I like to do a lot of clipping in so that you don't always have to go with what I think is right. On the back of that brown paper bag, I just have this clipped in as well. This is from a vintage greeting card. This is just the cover of it, which I've turned into a journaling card for you. And the brown paper bag again is blank on the back, so you could do more with it. I just really liked this yellows and oranges reflected here. On this side, I've got a belly band that I've made from a junk mail envelope. So here you are, here's the belly band part. This is a piece of wallpaper which you could journal on the back of, or use in some embellishments. It's got this really pretty butterfly and flowers on it. And inside the front of the junk mail envelope, yet more surprises for you. So this is a little booklet that I've made just from some tea-dyed papers and some Bookpage. And I just love how this looks inside the junk mail envelope. In the window, you can just see this lovely, bright and beautiful orange flower coming through. I've added a charm here. I've decorated the envelope a little bit, but you could do more of this if you want to. On the back, we've got more ruffle, this time in pink and purple, and I've just attached this this beautiful tassel charm. I think this came from a necklace, and I just felt like it went really well with the whole boho and bling and all of that going on. Here we've got another tab, and I'm losing a little bit of fabric, so I'll make sure I tidy that up for you. And I've just added this little charm on the side there. This is the back of it's like the vellum type paper. As you can see, this side there wasn't really much on it, so you could write some notes here if you'd like to. This is the back of the butterfly book page we saw in the beginning. This side was much narrower, so I have extended it out, so hopefully I can show you this. It extends out quite a bit, and then on this side I've just added a bow, so as you can see, hopefully I've got you all in. And it also goes the other way, so you could write on either side of this particular paper. Here we've got, this is the back of the letter we saw in the beginning. So the other side was blank, this is the actual letter part. There was a hole like the last one, so I've again reinforced with a couple of pretty stickers, popped an eyelet through, and then just added this really pretty pink and purple beads, just to give you a little bit of extra, well, a bit of extra bling, to be honest with you. And I just really like how all the purples and pinks look at the moment. The back of the book page with more stenciling, and then I've added this this trim to it, which has elephants and flowers on in beautiful purple and silver. Just love that. Here's the back of the vellum, and there's the very last page. This is the back of the wallpaper, and I've just popped in some more of that ruffle down the side here, and there's the back. Butterflies making an appearance. In the back pocket here, this is just made from some sort of crochet type material, trim type stuff, and I've just decorated it with even more trim. Inside, I've made this writing board. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in the journal. There's a lot of bumps, there's a lot of goodness, there's all sorts going on. So this writing board is nice and hard. So you'll be able to stick this under the page that you're writing on to give you a flat surface. This is actually made from a book board, a vintage book board. It completely come away from the spine, so I personally didn't think it would be ideal for a journal, my opinion only. So I turned it into a writing board. So this is the original end paper from the book board. Isn't it beautiful? There's this gold. Love it. And then I've just decorated the back. The back was just plain red, so it wasn't very exciting. I've decorated it with some I think there was some kind of art sample I received in the post. I don't know the artist, I'm really sorry, but it is lovely with all these tropical birds. And I've just finished off with some gold acrylic paint along the side. Hopefully you can see that all along. Oops. I'm not sure if that's in focus, but there's gold all along the sides. And I've finished off with some gold book corners. So you could have it either way. You know, you could have it neutral in gold, or you could have party in the front and business in the back. Or the other way around. It's up to you. And that's it. That's the whole caboodle. I hope you like it. I am in love with it. I'm going to find it very hard to part with this one because it is available in my Etsy. Yeah, I'm going to struggle with this one, but I do hope you like it. And I should have said at the beginning, this tassel, look at that. It hooks up. It doesn't have to be on your way. It is on the front. You can take it off. It's just secured with a bulb pin, but you can also just move it up there and then it won't get in your way when you're riding. Okay, that's it. That's my flip through. I really, really hope you like this journal as much as myself. If you would like to look at it in more detail, see some photos, see all of the goodness about, you know, measurements, number of pages, etc., then obviously check out my Etsy. Have a little look at that if you would like. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.